All right, so our water's boiling, our pancetta's cooking. Suddenly everything's going on and I have lost control of this recipe. Hello everyone and welcome to Carlos Cooks, where I try out recipes online that you might have seen that are super famous and wanted to try out but are nervous to do so. I will try the recipes out for you and possibly even pointers on when you should cook it. Today we will be making pasta carbonara, a recipe by Molly from Appétit. We have here actually the main ingredient, kind of the superstar of the carbonara, which is the guanciale, which is this little fun piece of meat here. It's not super easy to find. It's not super accessible unless you have like a specialty meat shop around you, which luckily I do. If this recipe doesn't work for you, you can really just use pancetta, which is super easy to find in the supermarket. She actually lets you know in the video. Yeah, so you just have Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper, and then just eggs and your pasta. It's interesting because you use Bucatini pasta, which is expensive as hell. Please feel free to not use Bucatini. The difference between Bucatini and just like angel hair is that Bucatini has sort of small opening in it. I don't know how to explain this to you, and basically it'll just soak up the sauce that much more. However, you don't need to because it's pasta, and unless you're me for this recipe, I would just use angel hair pasta. So we are gonna start by cutting up the guanciale. All right, guys, first pointer, this is very hard to cut. This is not easy. You will need a nice special knife that I do not own. Oh, and keep your eyes while you're cutting up the guanciale. Do not look at any camera. If you're on a channel, please maintain your discipline. I'm gonna go ahead and say that is less than a quarter pound. Who cares? On one end, I'm like, gotta be true to the recipe, and then on the other end I'm like, who cares about the recipe? Do you? Start off by putting your meat to your pan. No sizzle. A very subtle sizzle is what I intended, and it's what you should intend to. So I'm just very randomly stirring my guanciale for visual purposes, however this is not necessary. Zoe, please cut this out. The meat is becoming transparent. You can almost see through it, which is kind of scary. All right, so our water's boiling, our pancetta's cooking. Suddenly everything's going on and I have lost control of this recipe. All right, cool. So we have transferred our pasta into a much more aggressive stove because it's just not working. Our pancetta is looking very decent though. The meat has darkened nicely. So you're gonna go, oh, you lost the pork, you lost the guanciale. So now we have 8 eggs. You'll want one whole beautiful egg. You'll want to separate the egg white from the egg yolk. Oh wait, I should have done this. Fuck me. God damn it. Put your pancetta into the bowl where you will be making your sauce. I'm confusing myself. So this bowl I'm using to separate the egg white from the egg yolk. It will not look pretty. God damn it. Just grab the goddamn yolk off of the... There we go. That's the eggs.
We're gonna whisk this all together here.
Right. It does not look as pretty here. So now we're basically just gonna whisk the eggs and the guanciale, drop your pasta into your egg mixture. So I think this is like kind of like a switch off kind of thing. You have a little guanciale fat, you grab a little bit of your pasta water and drop it in. Ooh. I should have had this grated before, but I did not prepare.
So I have a mix of Parmesan cheese and Pecorino.
I'm doing a mix of Parmesan cheese and Parmesan cheese. Pepper. Right here. Sorry.
Here's a little trick of the tree. Grab your pasta
onto your plate. Oop. And then oop. That was absolutely useless. Thanks for the tip though. So that, guys, is the pasta carbonara recipe. Let's go try this bullshit. I mean, this recipe. This beautiful recipe. It's good. The guanciale, I will say, is a very overpowering flavor. I'm into it though. The egg is like very creamy and saucy, which I was not expecting from like literal egg yolks. It does need some salt though. It's like a really interesting texture. It's very different. Not a weeknight dinner dish. I would cook this maybe on a weekend when you have some time to make dinner for yourself and you want to do yourself something different in your kitchen. I would go for this dish. All right, guys, we are going to be putting out videos every Tuesday. If you have a recipe that you would like me to try, please drop it in the comments below. You can go ahead and give me pointers on how to do this entire process better and cleaner. Feel free to drop a productive comment. Thanks for tuning in again, and see you next week.
I like the feeling of the pasta.
Yeah. The fun part, making these videos, a cleanup.